Hello guys, in this video here we're gonna take a short look at the fairly new HyperX Pulsefire Haste. This is a very light gaming mouse at 59 grams with this hex shell design similar to like this glorious mouse over here. So it's a very light 59 grams. The construction is still fairly good. I would say it's stronger than the glorious, but like taking a feeling for it the first time, it feels kind of cheap, but I think that is just because of the weight. It almost doesn't weigh anything. I think the look maybe looks kind of weird, but if you look at an angle like this, it's kind of cool that we actually have it totally like see-through with the hex design there. But otherwise it actually have like a rat's nose or mouse nose design to it, but that makes it very ergonomical. The only complaint I could have is that maybe the top here could be raised a little bit, so I would have a little bit more support for my palm, but it fits my hand fairly good, and you have this almost like indentation to the buttons, so your fingers sit very nicely into them. And it took me one game, or not really one game, but the first game I started using this, I could play like normal, so that is a very good thing for me. The side buttons here are very easy to use: mount weapons, knife, very easy to find in combat. You have some pixart sensor. I don't really care about some things like that because those should just work. We have Virgin PTFE floats. Yeah, it will last for a long time and glide around on your mouse mat. Some kind of dust-proof clicking click register buttons here. Yeah, those should just last forever. I don't really care about the technology as long as it makes this click and it will work for a long time. On top here we have a DPI button. It also says which setting we are in with the LED indication on the mouse wheel. This is the only RGB feature about this mouse. I could want some more light from it because I like my setups to look good as well, so for me personally this is a little bit too not enough for me, but of course then they could save some weight, and it is addressable, so you can like change the rate of the color change, but really not more than that. My biggest complaint would also have to be about this scroll wheel on the mouse. It's not really tactile. If you take a look more here, so when gaming, switching weapons, I just take it one click to like change weapons, but if we move it fairly slowly, it's not like a, you know, when you scroll there's like a tactical bump for each like registered click you have, but here it's just so slight, and if you do it slowly there's almost no feel to it. Comparing it to my glorious mouse, it's much harder to like do it slowly, and the feel that you get from your finger that you register back from changing 1 degree, you feel it much more than this. This is just not good enough. It should be like harder and more feedback. Other than that, you have the flexible cable. It's almost the same as like a glorious cable, very flexible, but it seems like this here got a little bit more of shiny, more maybe nylon in the wire. Maybe it will last a little bit better or be more durable, but maybe it will glide better compared to the glorious, which is a little bit more like fabric, or this is more of a plastic fabric, if you catch my drift. You can like see it's a little bit more shiny like this. And what else is there to say about this mouse? For a light mouse like this, it actually feels surprisingly well built, like pushing on the Sapphire, there's no give to it. Of course you won't push on the other side here, but if you push it on the other side, it is a little bit weak, so we can actually change the DPI settings, so they could maybe change that with a new mold or something, because it flexes and makes the button hit. My Glorious, if I do the same, it won't change the DPI, but the Glorious is much more flexible underneath, so it's not like this is worse built or anything like this. And the buttons, you can click up here, or yeah, you can basically click everywhere and it will register. So it links up to HyperX Ingenuity, and here we can change the color, how bright and speed, and how it's gonna change. Some button effects, blah blah blah, never change about those. And here we can change the DPI settings for the levels here, or you can add more, of course. One cool thing also, when clicking the DPI, it will actually show in Windows. I've not seen that before with any of my other mice or mouses before, as we can see, but when we are in game we don't get this, but we still have the LED indication light which mode we are in. So Shoot the Ship is finally back into Modern Warfare, so we are putting ourselves right into some really aggressive combat with this mouse here. And this here was literally my first ever round playing with this HyperX Pulsefire mouse, and the learning curve was really non-existent, I have to say. Coming from a Glorious mouse, the transition was very nice, or the transition was very easy. It's not like I'm a pro player or anything like that, but I feel I could get some good aim and track people fairly good from the start with this one. I'm not sure if it made me play better, but definitely didn't make me play worse than I usually do. And yeah, and compared to the Glorious mouse that weighs 68 grams, this weighs 5 to 9 grams. You don't really feel the difference there. The overall top on the HyperX mouse is a little bit not as high, so after some time playing my hand was a little bit tired. That could also have to do with some adjusting because of the way I hold my hand, but preferably it would be better for my, coming from where I played with my mouses before, to have a mouse that was slightly taller. So it's hard to say if this is something you get used to, or if it's always gonna be like that. The only thing I didn't really like about this mouse is that the tactile feeling that I was talking about on the mouse wheel. They should really do something about that, because like playing with these classes here, I like to switch to grenade launcher to get some good spread and kill people like behind the corner, but the tactile feeling switching really isn't there. Of course I can change weapons without a problem, but maybe it would be easier for your brain to register the right amount of force that needs to be used to actually change the weapon. And this is something that most other mouses doesn't have any problem with, so I don't see a reason why they can't fix that, and I don't see a reason why they want to have it like that either. This is not a wireless mouse, but I don't feel the resistance in the cable or anything. It's just so light and flexible, so we don't get caught up to anything. So this was a fairly fast round, and yeah, I'm not really used to talking on videos like this, but I hope you enjoyed this review of this mouse here, and I could absolutely recommend it. And it feels like a high quality mouse from a reputable company. So thank you for watching, and here we see score. Not a lot of kills, but it's not like I was the worst player either.